challenge. And look, if we're not motivated or inspired by what's going on around us, I think we can just look at a number of businesses that have not been able to survive as innovation and change have come in and disrupted or eliminated their markets. So we have to create the challenge. And I always think it's better that ideas get buy-in when they start from the teams and they come bottoms up. And what we did is got with some of our top engineers and we said, how can we get past the excuses? Think of why we don't start things. Our system won't allow it. I need X million of incremental money. I need new tools. I need all these tools that we see everywhere, the buzzwords, before we can get started. We don't have the right talent. We need to get talent from the Silicon Valley, bring that into this traditional business, and that will help innovate and transform and give us the trajectory. All those excuses exist. When we got with our people, we created a challenge. We had just come off a long business transformation journey, multi-year, very complicated, 17 markets converted to a homogeneous technology platform along with products and processes. We were asking ourselves, are we relevant? Are we capable? Are we legacy? You know, are we going to win? So it just really instantiated a challenge with our people. And what we then went into is, we all know the cycle of setting goals. And we get a list of things that are business initiatives, etc. And we say, we're going to go do these things. And when we do those things, we should get a consistently strong rating. A great job. But how do you go above and beyond? And so this idea of taking top talent, involving them in the problem and asking, what do we need to do to begin to keep the business in all day, every day, deliver the agendas that we need to do, but on top of that, how do we start with innovation? Because if we don't get started, we're really going to be left behind. Think exponential change. And so we committed ourselves to a next-gen program whereby we got training, we got tools, but we had to give something back. We had to commit to above and beyond deliveries for our customers. And those were related to learning about some of these new innovations, but they weren't pilots. They were production projects and experiments in addition to our day jobs. And that was a way to motivate and inspire us to get started. Be bold does not mean I need $100 million and I need 5, 7, whatever years. In fact, I think at the pace of change and the increased competition and accelerated innovation, it's very tough for us to get those opportunities in the technology field. We need to be iterative. So we need to start with things that really matter to our customers. They might be small, they might be lower effort, but they're nagging things that we all know exist in our business. And yet what we do, we use excuses again. We say the business hasn't prioritized it, it's not on my list, that person should be fixing it, rather than just saying, you know what, each day, all day, every way, hundreds of us, maybe thousands, depending on the scale of your teams, are endeavoring every day for customers against project activities, etc. We know the things that we need to take care of. We've been working in Agile for over 3 years. We weren't delivering code as it's certified. Why? We had a bunch of excuses. Let's fix that. So we had to just take care of the blockers, the things that were getting in our way. And what we found is, as we started doing that, the momentum builds. The confidence builds. This is not that mysterious mystique of all of these buzzwords becomes less important, and we see the power of the teams because they're empowered and they're running through barriers and roadblocks. Now you have to say, how do you make what I said, not a pilot, not a program, not a workshop, not a 2 days, let's go off-site and have 10 people do 11 experiments. How do you make this part of the core delivery? And the nudge concept is one of my favorites. We can talk about what we don't have, or we can talk about what we do. We've got, again, large-scale teams interacting with software to deliver business value for customers every day. While we're doing that, Why wouldn't we think bigger than the project request toward the collections of activities we're doing? And while we're in the software, can you refactor the software? Can you take out the impediments that cause you not to be able to deliver monthly or every other week? And instead of those being the perennial excuse, in the sprint itself, can you refactor that software so that this time takes 90 days, next time takes 45? We saw amazing innovation that was just part of that core process. Engineers were able to refactor mainframe code to operate on cloud, but also be backward compatible to run on bare metal, either X series or virtualized X, without having cloud, either regulatory capability or stood out. That kind of innovation and thinking showed us that these barriers, we've created them over time, and we've really got to jump out of that shell, empower people, and lift them up. One of the proudest accomplishments out of nudges from the team was related to our service infrastructure. So we operate across 17 markets, and we're not necessarily the largest in those 17. So we have to be able to leverage what we build, or a good idea, from one across another. We've invested a lot historically in a common services architecture that allows us to, regardless of the channel, reuse services. And what the team realized is that we needed to be unique in each of these 17 we serve. They're uniquely regulated, they have custom practices, market practices, etc. And although you want to be common at the core, you have to be flexible to do the right integrations in market. And that's where this idea of an API portal came up that said, we'll expose our services, over 80% of the transactions that customers do with us every day, to a portal. Back to the Welsh comment about outside and inside, what we're trying to do is expose our experiences to the outside world to increase innovation. Why should we think it should be constrained to our walls? When we can open up banking to technology companies, you can foster digital partnerships and come up with ideas that never would have been possible if we have our banking or our traditional thinking. And so by putting these things on a portal, you come up with ideas like merchants would love to have the ability to allow customers to check out with credit card points. Or the idea of digital acquisitions that can be done from one digital partner to a credit card company. These now are really starting to get momentum on innovation and ideas because we're opening up the architecture, we're opening up the ideas for others to collaborate, co-create, and play with us. The next one, I think a lot of us have evolved into Agile. And so I think that the one point on learning that I've seen is it's not about delivering a technology asset, it's about the customer adoption. And so when you get a team that's focused on something that's important to a customer, they get maniacal about it, they become accountable, they become owners of it, they're very passionate about it. Those are the great things about the right setup of Agile. But they also own the data. How is it being used? Why is it not being used? How could it be iterated? How could it be made better for a customer to really maximize the value out of it? And so that's the idea of organizing correctly into those co-located teams with team-driven priorities. It also unleashes the power. Teams aren't waiting for someone to give them a list. They're coming up with the list, and they're not making it up. They're using data and what the customer does, not what the customer tells you, to help drive the next set of priorities. As leaders, this next one is really tough. We have to give space. So again, think of the regulated industry of banking and the importance of getting that right, and the idea of being in business all day, every day. A lot of us have gotten to where we are by being very focused on attention to detail, and we need to continue to do that, can't lose that. But the idea of giving space to teams and operating with humility that I don't know the best ideas, and they're going to come from the teams up, and they're going to come from outside in, and I don't know the answers. I have hypotheses that are hopefully based on data that I can go test and learn and iterate. And the idea of being curious about what is everybody else doing and forums like this are great because they can spur ideas and sharing and collaboration, because when we share our thoughts and ideas, I think we all become better, and then the customer wins. Getting back to, you got to measure this stuff, and you have to be kept cautious about over-measuring before you get started, and I'll talk about that. You have to seek value. When our teams came up with ideas, sometimes they would be excited if I got this to do that on this technology. And I said, that sounds fantastic. And what does that mean as it relates to a banking strategy that says we're going to be customer focused, deliver through mobile, and increase our speed, agility, and efficiency? What does that experiment, what does that learning mean to those pillars of the strategy? So we have to seek out the value, because sometimes we got so enamored just because we had done something. What does it mean? What does it mean mostly to our customers? The next one is about using data and avoiding the illusion of success. The pace of change and the ability to deliver customer features is so far accelerated that we have to think differently about our proposals. Historically, we would gather phone book sizes of data, and we would propose, again, give me money, I'll do this, it'll make this money, people will be happy, that kind of thinking. What that instituted in all of us is that idea has got to be right. So you get the illusion of success because as you go to market with it, you've spent some money, you've offered a promise, you've put together a phone book, your credibility's at stake. And now you're going to have to make that successful. So it's success theater. It's the illusion, and you're going to keep piling money in it, because if you don't, then again, you have the wrong idea. In this world, you can say, I have a hypothesis that I'm going to do this, we'll test it. You have to be aware of, does it work? Then pivot, iterate. Maybe you learned something you didn't think you'd learn, use that as a basis to do the next thing. So be careful of falling into the trap of emotionally attached to ideas or programs, and it's easier to do in this world because we're dealing in smaller increments that cost less money, that are delivered more quickly. And then finally, learn. Learn from this. And one of the things as we come back to the questions we ask ourselves, are we relevant? Can we do this? Can we do it without raising hand and saying, I need a separate team at an offsite in a special building with the foosball table? We can do that. And we can make it part of core delivery. But one of the most important things that I think we learned is that delivery and domain expertise. So for us it was banking domain expertise and the ability to deliver large scale at a across a broad spectrum. Those things will never go out of style. The technologies, the capabilities, the words that help you do that will continue to change. And now is no different than yesterday. Things just change faster. But what I'll tell you is I'll take domain expertise and delivery, and we can bring in the ability to use these next-gen technologies to deliver value for customers. And that is a pretty empowering learning. And so that brings us to the end. So if you haven't gotten the theme, it's you can make excuses not to get started. There is no form